Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm finally showing off my Tucson haul. So James and I went down to Tucson here in 2022, and we went actually for, I believe it was 3 weeks. So we went once the first week actually on opening day, then we went once the second week, and then we went basically almost every single day until the very last day, the final week, and that was because James's friend was in town for his shop over in Florida, so he was picking up basically a year's worth of supplies, so a year's worth of crystals for his shop, and James was of course doing things for his shop, and I was picking up stuff for Desert Cauldron. And so a lot of the things here are personal pieces, but also they can go into Desert Cauldron as well. So, you know, I feel like if people are connecting with some of the pieces here, then definitely they should move on to a proper home. But in the meantime, I get to play with all these beautiful crystal babies. So I'm super excited. Okay, so let me just talk about some of these crystals that you see here. And, you know, if you are, like I said, interested in them, this is the first time that I've maybe paid a little bit extra for certain crystals that were maybe out of my price range before, but this was more in the thinking of, this isn't just for me, this could be potentially for someone else. And so it made me feel a little bit better about that. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look over here. So you might be wondering, is that a piece of bark? What is that? This is actually a Mammoth Tusk. So as soon as I picked this up, all the Mammoth vibes, the powerful yet gentle boundaries, oh my gosh, mega boundaries with these. And you know, who doesn't need to work on a little bit of solar plexus and boundary energy? But this is actually 20,000 years old. It comes from the late Pleistocene, and it comes from Yamal Peninsula in Siberia. So let me just get nice and close. There we go. So you can kind of see what's going on in there. This is the energy, man. And also the reason I want to show off this crystal haul is because I do believe that people can pick up the energy of crystals even if it's not currently in their possession. So even though you may not physically have the crystal with you, you know, you can look at it through a computer screen, you can look at it through an image on a card. You know, crystals are very powerful. They transmute space and time. So if any of these crystals are coming through making you feel some good vibes, hey, it's all good. Then they're serving their purpose. Okay, this next crystal over here is actually one of my favorite types of crystals, and this is Hemimorphite. So Hemimorphite comes from a few different places in the world, and it actually comes in several other colors. My favorite color is this icy blue. And this icy blue is often found in China, and it's so gorgeous. It sometimes gets confused with smithsonite, which actually I saw a lot of smithsonite over in Tucson. But Hemimorphite has this unique ability where it's kind of got this fan shape to it, like you can kind of see here. But it also comes in a botryoidal shape, so it's almost like it's a totally different crystal, but yet retains the same properties. So it's a very unique crystal, you know, being able to have two very different, you know, formations, but still be the same thing. And it's very close to smithsonite, but I feel the energy, especially of blue Hemimorphite, to be just, it's so gentle, so calm, helps to maintain the peace, helps you to unblock any throat chakra issues. So really good, especially if you have like a sore throat. It's really good to put on the throat, but sometimes, you know, our sore throats or issues that we have with the throat is really because of a blocked chakra. You know, perhaps there's something that we're not saying, something's not being released, not being honest with ourselves about something. And Hemimorphite is actually really gentle when it comes to that. So yeah, you know, we do have shadow work, but sometimes it doesn't need to be a slap in the face, right? You know, sometimes you need a gentle companion, and Hemimorphite is that for me, which is also why I put it on the back of my Wally's World Oracle, just because it has such a gentle healing energy to it. Okay, so that's Hemimorphite. You know, I could go on and on, but there's other crystals here. This next little crystal over here, I say little, but it actually packs quite a punch, and it's actually large for what it is. And this is phenokite. I know, usually when we see phenokite, it's like in these little itty bitty like pebbles, and it doesn't matter the size of phenokite. It's powerful, you guys. And some people said they've never seen rainbows in phenokite, but just due to the you know, kind of breakages, I would say, inside, things shifting inside the crystal, it's created these wonderful rainbows. It's amazing. Anyway, this beautiful piece of phenokite is actually from Nigeria. So, whew, dude, soak in that energy. And I do have sometimes like issues with my heart, and this probably due to some blockages in my heart chakra. But I find that although for some people this is a very like super intense high vibe energy, it really does help to calm my heart. So that's very interesting with this lovely piece of phenokite. And it's kind of rainy today, but I wish I could take these crystals outside so you guys can really see them shine. But whew, man, she's a beauty. Okay, let's see. Moving over here to this cute little pendulum. I wanted to get more pieces of this, but this is phosphosiderite. I actually did get like a few, like 3, I think, little pieces for Desert Cauldron, and then I got a second pendulum for Desert Cauldron just to kind of see how it goes. But phosphosiderite is actually a really soft stone, and it's really hard to carve, so it is a little bit expensive when it comes to things like pendulums or, you know, carvings of things. But in its raw form, it is a little cheaper. It's just very fragile. So this, you know, if I drop this, it would probably shatter. So you have to be very careful with it. But it's really heart chakra, just beautiful. You guys soak that in. And in Tucson, they didn't really have anything attached to the end, but I just kind of felt like this little snowflake might fit, so I just kind of placed that on the end of the pendulum. But check that out. It's like heart chakra, crown chakra. Again, great for just calming you down. So when you need a chill pill, call on phosphosiderite. And then James and I kept trying to figure out, like, how do we say this word? Okay, so that's the lovely pendulum. And I didn't just get crystals, but there were a couple of other things that I got that were from a booth where they got a lot of their things from Montana. And this caught my eye. It's beautiful. It really, I have something very similar to it. You know, as many of you know, I have family as Pima Indian. And so this is just very earthy. I love the earthy feel to it. It makes me feel very grounded. So I just was like, I need to have this. And plus there were some, I forget the name, there was a couple of tribes out there that they were selling some of their things from Montana at Tucson. So, you know, I'm always supporting some fellow brothers and sisters out there. So this is beautiful. Can't wait to wear my choker. Probably more for, it's not fashion, by the way. This is more for when I'm in a meditative, ceremonial, doing some altar work, working with my herbs and things like that, just keeping me nice and grounded. And actually, I did pick up some tools and things to make my own drum. So I'm gonna try to venture into that. We'll see how it goes. I know that there are people that can purchase drums out there from different people off the reservations, but I want to try to make my own. So like I said, we'll see how it goes. Okay, moving right along. I bought 2 pieces of Morganite. So this is Morganite, and also this thing back here is also Morganite, but they come from 2 different places in the world. So this beautiful piece of Morganite here is actually from Brazil. And you could see, you might be wondering, like, why is it so etched? And this is actually water etching. This is naturally done, so this isn't something that was man-made, but it's kind of scratchy, kind of, you know, not obviously not smooth, but it creates so many rainbows in the light. And Morganite, I know it's coming across clear in the video, but it's got a pink tinge to it. And again, heart chakra based, powerful and gentle at the same time. It's almost like an oxymoron, powerfully gentle. So if you are working on opening up your heart, allowing in love, allowing you to love others, Morganite is really good for that. I'm still working with a lot of these crystals, so I'll maybe make some separate videos about just these individual crystals instead of a whole haul, but you know, this is just kind of what I've gotten from it so far. Okay, so this is a lovely piece of Morganite. Like I said, that one is from Brazil. And this one here is from Nigeria. So you can, I guess you can kind of see, it's kind of got that purple tinge to it. And it's got that lovely rainbow. Check that out, you guys. Oh. What I thought was unique, this is just a raw chunk of it. Oh, where it is. There's a little hole in here where you can tell there was a crystal or another piece of Morganite, and it fell out at some point, you know, during its growth process. But I don't know, just something about that little cave. And as you look in here, just the way it looks on the inside through this little window is beautiful. I love going into like the little cities and the little worlds that are inside this crystal, but this feels so good on your chest when you're just laying down in bed and you just put this on your chest and you just, it's like having a warm, cozy blanket and just feeling so secure and so safe. That, to me, at least thus far, is Morganite. Okay, moving right along for our little crystal babies. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna flip. Do you guys know what this is? Do you know what this is? This is Brazilian topaz. This is a blue topaz. Some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I've seen topaz that big. Okay, well, I haven't. And so I felt very fortunate to obtain this piece. It was not cheap, let me tell you. It's super heavy. It just is, you know, the pieces that make up topaz are just so much more dense. So if I had a piece of quartz that was of about the same size, the weight of the topaz would be almost double that of the quartz. So it's a very heavy crystal. So if anything, you know, you can always use it for self-defense. But anyway, no, I'm not chucking this at anybody. Like, dude, that's like the last thing I'm gonna do. This for me, you know, some people are like, oh, this is very throat chakra. For me, this is very protective, grounded energy. Like, brings me back down to planet Earth because I'm an air sign. Most of my chart's air. I have 0 Earth in my birth chart, and that's kind of interesting, my natal chart. So this brings me back down to planet Earth, and when I need to get some adulting done, I am laser focused with this baby here. So I am loving this topaz. I do say that, hey, you know, if people want to buy it off of me, that's cool, but I kind of am hoping people don't because I like it so much. Okay, let's see. We go into this, and well, I guess it kind of comes off a little smoky in the camera, but this is actually more of a yellow, kind of a Mountain Dew yellow, like a watered down Mountain Dew. But this is actually sulfur in quartz. So quartz has taken over this chunk of sulfur and crystallized it. Just, I've never seen anything like this. And if I go online, maybe I might see some polished sulfur, but I don't really see quartz and sulfur, or sulfur and quartz, looking like a chunk like this. And I haven't had a chance to work with it too much yet, but it seems unassuming, but it feels powerful in my hands. So I'm like, okay, I have some other crystal babies to get to know, and then I'm gonna get around to the sulfur. But I was really drawn to sulfur during this Tucson trip. I was like really drawn to dioptase and sulfur, and I ended up not getting any dioptase, and now I'm wondering if I should be kicking myself because I really saw some like really good stuff for really good prices, and I should have, but I was at my spending limit. So perhaps next year. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be next year. But anyway, I'm just gonna call this one Mountain Dew. So hello, Mountain Dew. All right, this piece back here, since it's catching the light all rainbowy, is titanium treated, and it's titanium treated fluorite, and I haven't seen that before. And you can see it's all druzy right here. And I know there are some people who are like, oh, I don't like my crystals treated. And that's fine. You know, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I know this isn't natural. It's, you know, a man-made process of taking titanium and heat treating it, pressurizing onto the fluorite. But I feel that taking the two, it really changes the fluorite in a very unique way. So I can still use it as a healing crystal. And this one being super high vibe. And it still, I feel, retains many of the properties of fluorite. And this is actually green and purple fluorite. This is actually the natural green and purple fluorite down here at the bottom. And this actually comes from the UK, from the Dana Maria mine. Dana Maria mine. And the people that sold this to me said that they're kind of the first to do this to fluorite. They hadn't really seen this done to fluorite before, and I haven't either. I've always just seen it done to quartz. So it's a unique energy for sure. Like I said, not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm always into some unique things. So anyway, and I'm like a little unicorn, so need some rainbow in my life. Okay, we have this big mama here. And this one is very hard to find any information on the internet, but I did get to find, talk to the person, you know, who sold it to me, who he's been on the digs to get this, and James purchased some of this amethyst as well. I just happened to get the very large chunk of it. But this, he called it Sirius Celestial Amethyst, so Sirius like the star. And he said it had Isis energy, you know, goddess Isis, mothering, divine, feminine energy, and I can definitely feel that in this crystal. I keep it by my computer, which is pretty much the center of the apartment, and the energy is amazing. You can see some rainbows in there. It's just crazy. But what's unique about this piece of amethyst is it comes from the Baobab mine in Kitui County in Kenya, and that particular mine hasn't produced much yet. This is the first thing it has produced, is this unique amethyst. So you won't find this particular type of amethyst anywhere else in the world. You know, this is a very new find, and it's actually full of anhydrous too, which is cool. So a lot of the pieces James has also has tons of anhydrous, and he's trying to list as many as he can in his shop right now. But for me, this kind of looks like a woman's torso. I just love that divine feminine energy. Dude, crazy. And I did get it for a really good price. Again, not cheap, but as far as large pieces of newly discovered amethyst go, it was a good price, but not cheap. Okay, moving over here, I have Elbit Tourmaline. So it's a type of tourmaline. It's in the tourmaline family, but they call it Elbit or Elbate. And this is actually Clevelandite that is on the side here. But it's this beautiful pink color. Again, very heart chakra. I kind of went on like a heart chakra and crown chakra binge, I guess, this Tucson visit. But this comes from the Tourmaline Queen Mine in the Pala District in San Diego County, which is where I'm from, San Diego County, California, San Diego, California. And I was like, what? And it was just so many cool tourmaline specimens. And I was like, we make that? Like, how was I not out there on these digs? You know, why didn't I not pick this stuff up? You know, I basically lived there my whole life. So I had to get a little piece of home. I love the feeling of this. I did, you know, obviously get it for Desert Cauldron, but I'm working with it in the meantime. She's so gorgeous. Such a gorgeous piece. Oh my goodness. I'll be so sad to see her go. Over here this is amber. It's copal amber from Colombia, and many of the pieces of amber I got had like spiders in it, or mosquitoes or ants, and so I got a few pieces for Desert Cauldron. This one to me kind of looked like the phasers that they had on Star Trek because I'm a huge Trekkie, and so it just feels really good in your hands, like how smooth it is, and the energy. It's, even though it's, you know, basically fossilized sap from a tree, it feels like it takes you to another dimension. It's really nice. And look at all those bubbles that had formed in there. There's just some crazy stuff inside of this amber. It's like, how did all that stuff get in there? It's amazing. So yeah, this will go up on Desert Cauldron as well, but in the meantime, this baby's like, phew, set to stun. Okay, so that went from Colombia. All right, moving, let's go up here. This one has been underneath my pillow, and I have been pairing it with Ethiopian opal and Fenster quartz. Dude, some high vibe crystals, but it gives you the most pleasant of dreams. So you're wondering what this is. So this is amethyst from the Shangan region, and is it Chibuku mine in Zimbabwe. The person who sold it said that it was Super 7 amethyst. That I can't confirm, but you know what, I don't care, because I just love the energy of it. And for me, I don't care what you call the crystal. It's what do I feel off of the crystal? You know, some people just want to get it for the name. It's like people walk around in name brand clothing. They wear it for the name. I don't get crystals for the name or for what people say they can do. It's let me hold it, let me feel it. And if I connect with it, I don't care what you call it. Okay. But this is definitely a high vibe crystal. Oh my gosh, like the purple in there. And this one I don't think has anhydrous, but many of the pieces did have anhydrous. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. And just like all these babies stacked up on each other, all these like little mini scepters just kind of came together. It's gorgeous. But anyway, again, this is amethyst from Zimbabwe, from the Shangan mine, or Shangan region. Dude, just holding it. And I've tried to meditate with this on my forehead, way too like crazy energy, but somehow when I sleep with it under my pillow, I'm totally calm and cool. So I can't really explain that to you guys. Okay, lastly, I have some pieces over here, and these are all of the same thing. So let me just show you them first, and then let me talk about them. So you can see all these different rutiles in here. Okay, maybe I'll just talk about them while I show them. But this is blue quartz. So I know it doesn't look that blue in the camera, but if you take it outside, it's definitely a blue color. But the blue actually comes from this blue tourmaline here. So I know that the tourmaline looks black. It's actually blue and gives it this unique color. And it comes from Brazil. And we have a guy at one of the booths that we see every year. He's super nice, probably because we buy a lot from him, but he tends to find the most unique items, and that's what I like. I like unique stones. I don't want to be on the, you know, popular train. I want, show me things that other people haven't seen yet and let me feel the energy. And I couldn't take my eyes off of these. I couldn't keep my hands off of them. I couldn't afford a whole flat of them, but I bought as much as I could, and I definitely want to sell them in Desert Cauldron. But for the meantime, I want to soak in this energy, because this is not only throat chakra, but it feels, I don't know, powerful, like an assertive energy, like helping you with your boundaries, with being assertive, with being confident in the things that you do. I don't know, it's unique, like weird in a good way. So yeah, this is blue quartz with blue tourmaline rutiles. Just amazeballs. Okay, so that is it. Those are the things that I brought back from Tucson. Again, these are kind of semi-personal pieces, but also will be going up in Desert Cauldron until, you know, somebody else maybe takes them off our hands. And of course, I'm always so sad when crystal babies leave, but you know, I know it's for healing and they know where to go. They always find their true home. But in the meantime, they can help me. I did get a bunch of stuff, of course, for Desert Cauldron, but those were a lot of items. And so you'll eventually see those up in our shop. Also check out our Instagram page at desert.cauldron. And we've been trying to do some sales through Instagram because it's a lot cheaper. So the fees are lower, which means that we set lower prices on Instagram. You know, we just do PayPal invoices there. But once we do put them on Etsy, you know, that's it. You know, what we buy in Tucson, that's meant to last us the year. So, and a lot of times when we go back to Tucson, the things that we maybe got there the previous year, you know, like this ginormous topaz, we may not see topazes like that the next year. It's always something different, which is totally cool. I just, you know, I like being around all the wonderful crystal energy there, and I'm grateful for what crystals have to offer us and to help us raise our vibration and help us to ascend on this planet. And you know, and as we raise our vibration, we in turn can help others, and others can help others. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this crystal haul. Like I said, if you had any questions about these, maybe you were interested in them, definitely just email me, or you can DM me on Instagram at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. All my information is down below for my social media, all of that stuff, but also like my other things like my Patreon and my newsletter and my website, you know, for my readings and things like that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had time to maybe soak up the crystal energy. Just breathe it in, you guys, just breathe it in. And I was happy to share it with you. But that's it for me, spiritual homies. Again, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you later. It was nice to see some of you in Tucson, actually, and I can't wait to see some of you in Tucson next year. All right, catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.